Hello everyone and welcome to this new edition of Web Page Creation, in which we will talk about forms. Forms capture user input from HTML pages. Forms are composed of checkboxes, radio buttons, menus, text areas and buttons. Forms are probably familiar to you if you have ever submitted information over the internet. First, you complete the forms field. Once completed, you click the submit button and submit the form. Your browser sends the form's data as name or value pairs to a remote server. The server receives the form's data, which it processes and optionally returns as result. This tag defines a form. The opening tag contains an action attribute. A form can be represented as this. The form tag also contains a name and method attribute, which is this and this. The method attribute specifies whether the form is sent using the post or get protocol. The post protocol places a form's data in what is called an HTTP header and sends it to a server. You can place various data entry fields between the form opening and closing tag. Elements include input element, labels, text area elements, and select element. Input elements can have a type of checkbox, file, text, password, submit, or reset. An example of a simple form with input elements is as shown. Here we have a simple form with one input, which tells us enter your name. Which the input type is text, which means we can only input text in that form, and a placeholder enter your name. This is what is being presented inside your form. Two common form fields are text fields and password fields, and these two form fields are both input elements. Password fields mask the letters as you type, so nobody can observe your password when you are typing. You can specify the width of either field using the size attribute. As you can see, everything that you enter cannot be observed by other users. This is because we have used the password type. You can add a label to any form field using the label tag. This is an example of a label where we have label for password, which tells us that this will be the label for a password, and this will be the label enter your password. So we have our label enter your password. Most forms have a submit and reset button. The submit button submits the form. The reset or cancel button resets all the forms field to blank or their default value. Submit and reset buttons are placed at the end of the form, and they are all input elements. So we have the input type submit and the input type reset or cancel. When our form is filled, when we click on validate, the information is being submitted. We can also add checkboxes in a form. You can use checkboxes when the user is provided with a choice where they can select one or more choices from several choices. Also, we have input type checkbox and value yes. So when you open in browser, we have a checkbox that we can check and uncheck. A radio button is an input of type radio. You use radio button to select one of two or more values from a group of related choices. Unlike a checkbox, a radio button only allows you to choose one of the alternatives. A typical example when you want to add a radio button is when you want to ask the gender of an individual. We have gender, male or female. We save. We have gender, male or female. When you check one and try to check the other one, the first one disappears. File fields are inputs of type file. These fields let users choose a file from their computer and upload it when the form is submitted. Forms that submit files must have an encoding type of multi-part form data. We have form name input, action nothing.php, method post, and end type multipath / form data. As an example, we have please upload your picture, the label is file, and input type please upload your picture, file, choose a file. That's it. This is all about adding a file to your web page. Text areas allows entry of large amounts of data. You specify a text area using the text area tag. Text areas have a colors attribute which specifies how many columns the field should have, and also have a rows attribute which specifies how many rows in height the field will have. As an example, we have text area rows 10, columns 20, and placeholder comment here. This is our text area where you can write text. Now we will talk about lists and menus. The select element allows you to choose one or more values from a list of values. You add select elements to a form using the select tag. Within a select element, there are one or more options element. Option elements specify the names that appear in the select element. The select element is of the form select option value, choice 1, choice 2, and choice 3. We have it here, and when we press this drop down arrow, we have our choice 1, choice 2, and choice 3. However, sometimes you might wish to make it easier for users by grouping similar choices into categories. You use the opt group tag for this grouping. For example, we have select opt group labels, numbers, option value 1, choice 1, option value 2, then choice 3. Then we close the opt group tag. Then another one called letters, where we have A, B, and C as our different choices. We have numbers, choice 1, choice 2, and choice 3. Then letters, choice A, B, and C. Also, you can use the tag field set, which renders a box around form elements with this tag. You can also label the field set elements by assigning a legend. For example, field set. This is our field set that we implemented. Here we have our field set with our legend, dairy products, and with checkboxes. This was all for today. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see you in the next video for more notions. Ciao ciao ciao.